Now, what is happening with my dress here? See, I've got a screen on in front of my camera so I can see, which is a bit of a problem. Guys, if you got like, you know, around 2.5 mil, between the like 2.2 and like 3 mil vibes, you know, just laying around, and you want the luxury of luxurious, and you want all the tech, all the sort of go anywhere kind of capabilities in comfort, then you need to look no further, or need look no further than this, which is the LX 600 F Sport. Now, okay, you don't have to get the 600 F Sport, obviously, okay, but that's the one I'm driving. It's why I mentioned it, okay, which is just over like 2.5 mil. But oh my goodness, look at this car, it's humongous, and it's beautiful. It's actually a really, really beautiful car, and I sometimes think massive cars are really difficult to make look really stunning. They can be very striking and have quite a presence, but for them to be like really beautiful is not always easy to achieve, and I think Lexus has done that. It's just a really stunning car. Now look, if you are not comfortable driving a massive car, like I get that a lot when people want advice about a car. More often than not, I don't want something big that, you know, because I don't want to be driving that around. I'm like nervous driving a big car. This is not for you, okay? This car takes some skill, especially if you're driving like around Cape Town and it's small suburbs and very narrow streets. Here's looking at you, Sea Point, to Bantry Bay and Bantry Bay to Camps Bay. It is quite a thing, and you've got to be really aware and have your wits about you, because it just is enormous. But this is made to cruise. It's like best on the open road. It's so beautiful. It's so comfortable. It's just like, it's like you're sort of captaining a beautiful yacht, or like a big, beautiful, beastly boat. Do you know? It's just like really something extraordinary, actually, when you're driving it. So this is the 4th generation, and it's now got like these two like screens here. It's all like quite digital and techy. It's like a 12.3 inch screen and a 7 inch. The top is all infotainment and navigation, all that kind of thing, and then the bottom one is all climate control and sort of drive modes and everything. Now, the infotainment system is rather simple. It's like very simplified, quite easy to use. What I have struggled with is my phone. I've paired it to it, it says it's paired, and it keeps dropping. And I'm not talking about Android Auto, because for ages I looked for it. I was like, this car has to have Android Auto, like it has to. But I was like, oh, it doesn't, like I can't believe it. Anyways, did my research. It does have it, but it's not wireless, so you actually have to plug a cable in, which I don't mind because it works better, but it just feels a bit like old school. It feels like it should be wireless, like you're in this top end luxury vehicle, you know, a vehicle. But it does have like a wireless charger and all that kind of thing. So it does have all it's got heated seats, heated steering wheel, your sunroof, and okay. Oh, it's even got on the stop start fingerprint recognition. So now if someone, like, I don't know, tries to steal your car and stuff, they can't start it if you've, you know, programmed it or whatever. And you can put a few fingerprints. So like, I don't know, maybe I'd be like, I don't want anyone else driving my car, so only my fingerprint. What is interesting for a car of like this caliber and this modern is it has like a load of sort of traditional buttons, which of course I adore. So it makes it very busy in here, not as simplified or as sleek as maybe some would want. Sorry, I felt something cold in my breast. But I actually think it just works so much better, because now I've got a volume knob and I've got like buttons when I want to press things, which is like flipping awesome. Now, engine wise, so the 600 has a twin turbo 3.5 litre V6. It's got 305 kilowatts of power going for you and 600 newton meters of torque. I said 600 newton meters, I meant 650 newton meters before someone comes at me on YouTube comments. 10-speed auto, okay? The problem with the petrol, okay, so like straight line, like acceleration, all really great, smooth, lovely. For me, just like effortless, right? The only issue with the petrol is the fuel consumption, which I think when you're in this sort of segment, do you care too much? So I'm sitting at 14.8 litres per 100 Ks. I think you're going to sit more around 12 most of the time, especially if you're then on the open road. Whew, that is high, people. That is high. I considered this for a holiday car, like to go away in, and I was like, I think not. I think I can't afford it. I mean, I can't afford the car, obviously, but I can't afford the fuel that has to be put into this car. So the turbo diesel would be your better option. That has a claimed fuel consumption of like 8.3 or 8.7, I can't remember, but in the 8th. Litres per 100 Ks, which, would just do you better in the long run. Like I mentioned, the size of this car is something to consider because it is quite a thing to navigate. It's not exactly nippy. The turning circle isn't exactly, great. But again, like I mentioned, it's just built for the open road. And it's also, because it's based on the Toyota Land Cruiser 300, it is so capable off-road. It's even got low range available. This will get you out of any situation, really. I mean, you can go anywhere. That's the point. It's like you can go anywhere in this car, but you're doing it in luxury and comfort and style. And I've seen a number of comments and reviews and people mentioning the fact that, the Land Cruiser 300 is like, I think about R500,000 less than this. So what you're essentially paying for is like the luxury and stuff and the Lexus name and the badge or whatever. But I think it's worth it. I have to say, I love a Land Cruiser and it's got its place. I love it. What I love about this is it's very sort of, if you now own a yacht in the Mediterranean, do I know any of my YouTube subscribers, like yacht owners in the Med? Because if you are and you haven't mentioned this to me, we need to have a chat. However, if you are like, this is the sort of car you want to get off your yacht and get into. Like, this is a larger than life car, right? And it's got all of the feels. I don't think I have much negative to say about it. Besides, I don't think I could have it as an everyday car living in a city because it is so enormous. But I'm all about this space though for if I'm traveling. I mean, look at that boot. You can get it in 4, 5, 6, 7 seat configuration, depending on derivative and grade and stuff. But Luca loves this. His car seat's actually behind me, but he is always like, oh my gosh, I can see this. Oh my god, he's loving it. Quite tricky to get him into that seat, by the way. I'm having to lift up because it's so much higher. When you stand next to this car, you realize how enormous it is. Just a quick jump in on here. I haven't mentioned all the tech in this car, mainly because it's quite extensive. And I obviously haven't mentioned everything that it can do off-road or how everything is selected and how it all works. The reason being is, well, if you know Land Cruiser 300, then you know enough. And also, I'm not driving off-road, so then I feel like it's a little bit silly to talk about it, So maybe what I need to do is start taking these off-road and then filming it for you. Yeah. If you are into luxury, my goodness, I don't know if there's much more luxurious than this, within its sort of segment. Probably quite a statement to make, because all of them are luxurious, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.